Prime time on ESPN Saturday night in Death Valley. Number 6, Alabama, a 13.5 point favorite at number 10, LSU, against Brian Kelly and his fake Cajun accent. Over under of 58.5 in this one. It's not often, Brett, that you see a team go into a night game at LSU and be almost a 2-touchdown favorite, especially a team like Alabama, who got blasted on their defense, got blasted when they went to Knoxville and played Tennessee. So huge spread here. Where do you land on this one?
Yeah, do you know why Alabama's almost a 2-touchdown favorite? It's because LSU's not really the 10th ranked team in the country. The AP poll had them at like 16, 17. My power ratings have them at like 17, 8. Yeah, that's where they are. They're not a top 10 team. This is selling you snake oil. They're some of the biggest frauds in the college football playoff rankings. Now, the team as a total, I don't believe, is a bunch of frauds, but they're not the 10th ranked team. Get out of here. That's why Alabama's almost 2-touchdown favorite. And yeah, LSU, they're above 5 one-loss teams. I guess they just forgot that LSU got boat raced by Tennessee at home, or maybe it's just because they're number 1, 2. I don't know. Anyway, the Alabama line's actually starting to move in favor of LSU, and I think it's because they're playing in Death Valley at night. That is probably the most difficult environment to play in college football. And yeah, we saw how Alabama handled playing at Tennessee. They committed 1 million penalties, and that's what they've been doing all year. They may commit another 1 million penalties in this game. It's something I'm definitely putting in my handicap, even though above average or below average penalties is kind of a tough way to handicap games because you can't really predict it. But in this kind of environment, I am pretty confident in that. You can actually find a 12.5 at FanDuel. It is juiced. So obviously I'm not laying that, but yeah, LSU against Ole Miss, they took away the run and they made Ole Miss one-dimensional, and that's how they beat the crap out of them at home, which is great. You're not going to do that against Alabama. You're not going to do that against Bryce Young and those pass catchers. So if LSU is going to win this game or honestly even keep it within the 13.5 points, it's going to have to be a track meet, and I don't really trust LSU to get into a track meet. I don't. I know they scored 45 on Ole Miss. I don't think they're going to do that on Alabama. Aggregate power ratings only favor Alabama by 11.5. But this feels like a really good statement game for Alabama. They're seeing LSU ranked number 10. They thought they were going to be 15, but now this is a top 10 win teed up for Nick Saban and Alabama on the road when they were left out of the top 4, which makes sense. But you know how Nick Saban's going to spin that. Oh, we're disrespected. I think they're going to walk into Death Valley and beat the crap out of LSU. I'd probably take 13.5.
Yeah, you have a note here about first half. I know it's obviously a very popular betting angle in betting Alabama is just to take Bama in the first half when they just boat race a lot of teams. So
yeah, when that becomes available, it's No, I would. It's because the line, the first half for me, at my books, I have not seen available yet, so I didn't want to say that I like it better than the number that I have in front of me. We could probably expect 7.5 to be the first half line here for Alabama. And if you want to take that, I could just, again, this is just situationally a game where Nick Saban and Alabama walk in, they get a good neck crack in there, and they remind the country, we are Alabama. We are the third favorite to win the national championship, and here's why. And I'm sorry, LSU, we're making a statement out of y'all.
I am seeing a first half line now up at DraftKings. Alabama in the first half, -7, -105.
Oh, yeah, give me that. -7 at -105, absolutely. Sure. And if you want to wait to see if that drops down to 6.5, bet even better. But it's tough with those first halves. They move a lot more slowly than full games just because you're dealing with less points, less time. Yeah, 7.5 -105, absolutely. That'll be my bet over -13.5 full game.
And I do want to at least check FanDuel here as well, because that line has moved to 12.5 now. So, I mean, just like you said, lines do move a little bit more slowly on the halftime or the first half lines when it comes to these versus the full game. So pulling it up now, we got 12.5 on the full game, -115 for Alabama. And we do have a first half spread. See, okay, it's -7.5 Alabama plus 100.
Yeah. Ooh, no.
So
I would take the 7. Yeah. Just because of the push rate you get at 7, especially I only have full game push rates available to me. I don't know if half push rates are available out there. I would imagine that's a huge difference. That's a huge difference though on a first half line between 7 and 7.5. Yep, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. I would take the Alabama -7, -105. I feel very confident in that. Again, maybe I'm falling victim to benefit of the doubt to Alabama, but this is just something we've seen 1,000 million times under Nick Saban, where he's just like, okay, we lost. Now we get an opportunity. I mean, it happened against Mississippi State, but Mississippi State is not top 10 LSU. I think they make a statement out of them.